Yo, what's good y'all, it's Latrell, and today I got the ultimate comparison for y'all. So today, I have my Pixel 4a here by Google, and I also got my OnePlus Nord. So today I'm about to go and tell y'all which one you should be putting your money towards, because we have a $350 phone here, and then we have a $488 phone here. So let's see what's up with these two and which one you should be buying. Alright, so yeah y'all, so I know for a lot of y'all, this is the video that y'all actually been waiting for, so I'm finally giving it to y'all. And you know, it's understandably so, because besides the Poco F40, these are the best phones that you're gonna get right now for the mid-range phones. So right off the bat, I do want to say that I like this quote that somebody just said on, I think, Android Authority, and that's...
In fact, in many ways, the mid-range smartphone market is actually rather more exciting than the flagship one.
And that's true, I feel the same way besides this foldable phone stuff. So we got the Pixel 3a over here for $350, and then we got the OnePlus Nord for $488 here in the US if you want to import it. So you know what, we're gonna just go and get straight into this. So we're gonna go and see if it's worth spending another $138 on the OnePlus Nord. Alright, let's go and talk about one of the most important things about these two phones is the camera. So I already showed y'all in my unboxing, so I'm gonna basically go ahead and replay that clip right now in this video, and then you'll go ahead and see for yourself which one looks better to you. Alright, so this is going to be the video on the OnePlus Nord, 4K at 30 FPS. And then it's going to be your video quality on your Pixel 4a with 4K at 30. So let me know, which one do you think looks better? Now the weird thing that I noticed with this is that this got 4K at 60, but the back camera don't? What? What's up with that? But I mean, the camera itself, it looked pretty good. So with the Pixel, you get 1080p at 30 with the front-facing camera. So that's pretty much it. But again, the camera don't look bad. I might be giving it to the OnePlus Nord right now. So in my opinion, just looking at that clip right there between these two cameras, I think the Pixel 4a easily beats out the OnePlus Nord, but the OnePlus Nord has the advantage over the video. And of course, the OnePlus Nord also has the advantage over the extra cameras here, like the ultra wide and the telephoto and everything like that. I mean, we already know Google for the cameras here on the Pixel phones. I mean, it's already in the name, you know, Pixel. And then we don't really know OnePlus here for the cameras, just Google really. But the way they get these cameras to really look good on here is utilizing the software. So the camera app on the Pixel 4a is really what makes it shine, and I wouldn't really say as much the hardware on here, it's just more the software. Now I will say for the OnePlus Nord, you can just go ahead and easily look up the Google camera port here for the OnePlus Nord and then just improve your picture quality from there. But I will give it to the Pixel because it's already built into here, obviously. Like, you have your astrophotography mode, you have your pretty good picture quality overall, and I just think that the picture quality on the Pixel 4a is overall better, but the video on the OnePlus Nord is overall better. So if you care about picture quality more, then get the Pixel, but if you care about video more, then get the Nord. And overall, I would say to just get the Pixel 4a because it's a pretty good middle balance. And then for the front facing camera, you actually got a wide and an ultra wide camera for the Nord, and then you got a regular camera for the Pixel 4a. So the Nord does have the Pixel beat in terms of the cameras, but I will say that it may have like 3 cameras here, which I like, but that last camera there is just unnecessary in my opinion. It has a macro camera, and then I already talked about this in my OnePlus Nord review, but the macro camera, it's just kind of stupid because it don't look good, and then you would just be better off taking a regular picture and then just zooming in. So that's my little bit of beef with the OnePlus Nord camera, but overall I just think that the Pixel beats it out. Next up is the build quality and the design between these two. So I don't think I need to be the one to tell you that there's really no competition here. Like, I think the OnePlus Nord just looks way better in my opinion. Like, yeah, that's gonna be subjective probably, but in my opinion, I think the OnePlus Nord just looks overall better. Like, you have it in a gray color, and then you also have this blue color. But if you look at the Pixel phone here, it's just overall just simple. So maybe you like that simpler design better, but I just think the OnePlus Nord just looks overall better. And then also here for the build quality, you have all plastic here versus on the OnePlus Nord, you have glass in the back and then you have plastic sides. And honestly, if you just look here, both are going to catch fingerprints, but the OnePlus Nord is going to catch them better unless maybe you get the gray color and then it just hides them better. But I think overall just build quality and design is just better on the Nord. Next up is the speed and the software. So the OnePlus Nord may have the Pixel beat in terms of like the specs and everything, but overall I think the Pixel just feels a little bit nicer. So with the OnePlus Nord, you actually got 12 gigs of RAM with 256 gigs of storage and a better processor, which is pretty nice. But on the Pixel 4a, you get 6 gigs of RAM, you get a Snapdragon 730G, and then you also get 128 gigs of storage. So yeah, you do get worse specs here, but I think overall just the Pixel 4a feels a tiny bit snappier, and overall I just like the software better on here. So that's not to say that Oxygen OS is bad or anything, but I think like the Pixel exclusive features like the call screening, and then you also got car crash detection and stuff like that. I just think that the Pixel just has the overall edge, but I will give it to the Nord because it does have a 90Hz screen, so it will feel a little bit faster. And then if I go to utilities, I go to OnePlus Laboratory, and then I go and tap on enable dark tone and more apps. You actually get this feature here where you can go ahead and put dark mode in more apps. So now if I go over here to Hangouts, now it's in dark mode. So the Pixel just doesn't have features like that, but it does have things like I said, the car crash detection, you have the call screening, which is pretty nice. Like I can't even tell you how many calls I got like this where it told me that my extended warranty on my car is expiring when I don't even have a car to begin with. But as you can see here that the Google Assistant screen calling here just picked it up for me, and then I didn't even have to do anything. I didn't have to pick up the phone or nothing, so that's clutch. And then on top of that, you got other things here like the new Google Assistant UI if you care about that, and then, well yeah, that's pretty much it. So overall, I got to give it to the Pixel 4a, but the OnePlus Nord does have some pretty nice features here like the always on display that's coming up in Oxygen OS 11. Even though the Pixel already has always on display here, as you can see. Next up, we gotta go ahead and talk about the displays on these two phones. So both of these phones do have AMOLED, they top out at 1080p, and then they also both have HDR, but I will say overall, the Pixel does have a little bit better of a screen quality. The colors on the Pixel 4a look a little bit more natural, the Pixel 4a gets a little bit brighter, but that's the key word right there, it's a little bit. It's not a dramatic experience or anything, so you will notice them side by side, but you won't notice them like if you go ahead and get a Pixel and then you switch to a OnePlus Nord, like, no, that's not really a thing. And then they both have some pretty good screen to body ratios, so I will give it to the OnePlus Nord, even though it has a bigger hole punch here because it has two cameras, but I think overall like it doesn't have a bigger chin here at the bottom and just things like that. And the OnePlus Nord just has an overall bigger screen, so I'm really feeling that. That's one of my main gripes here with the Pixel 4a is the screen size, so I'm not really feeling it that much. But the OnePlus Nord, you actually have a 6.4 inch screen here versus 5.8. So if I'm going to be watching something, I'm going to pick up the Nord first. And then like I said here with the OnePlus Nord, you have a 90Hz screen, but in my opinion, I don't really care. Like 90Hz or 120Hz, it hasn't really mattered to me that much, so I'm really cool with 60Hz. I don't need any high refresh rate displays. Like I don't understand why everybody feels like 120Hz or 90Hz display is mandatory in a 2020 phone. So I get it in $1,000 phone, but like for a mid-range phone or a budget phone, no, you don't need it. Next up is the speakers on here, so let me go and give y'all a side-by-side comparison real quick. So put on your headphones for this, but we're gonna start with the OnePlus Nord at max volume. And then here goes the Pixel 4a. So yeah, you heard the difference there. So overall, I think the OnePlus Nord is actually louder, but the Pixel 4a just has more bass. But here's a really important note between these two. So with the OnePlus Nord, you actually have a single firing speaker, but with the Pixel 4a, you actually have stereo speakers. So you have one here at the bottom, and then you have one here at the earpiece. So overall, I got to give it to the Pixel because while it may be a little bit quieter, it has better bass, it has stereo sound, and it has a headphone jack here if you want to go and plug in some headphones. As you'll see here on the OnePlus Nord, there's no headphone jack, so you have to use Bluetooth. Next up, let's go and talk about the batteries on these phones. So just on paper, looking at the OnePlus Nord, it does have an overall bigger battery than the Pixel 4a, but just being honest here, the OnePlus Nord just doesn't really beat out the Pixel 4a that much. Now I will say here with the warp charge, it's like ridiculously faster on the OnePlus Nord over the Pixel 4a, but with the Pixel 4a here, like I feel like it's just fine here for the battery life. Both of the battery lives on here ain't that far off with the 90Hz on here anyways. I haven't tried it really with the 60Hz on. But I guess that just kind of shows you that specs don't tell the whole story. So just overall, I think the battery life is pretty similar on these two. I end the day with the OnePlus Nord on about 30% and then 20% with the Pixel 4a, so not that far off. Yo, what's up? You can see me again, but next up, let's go and talk about unlocking your phone. So with the OnePlus Nord here, you actually have face unlock, as you can see there, which is like ridiculously fast and it won't stop unlocking when I really don't need it to unlock right now. As for the Pixel 4a, it doesn't have any type of face unlock, but as you can see here, we have an optical fingerprint scanner inside the screen, and then we also have one just on the back of the Pixel 4a. So let me go and do a quick speed test for y'all. So we're gonna do Pixel 4a versus OnePlus Nord in 3, 2, 1, go. And as you can see there, the Pixel 4a is way faster. And also it's 1,000 times more reliable. So with the OnePlus Nord, I feel like it just doesn't really register my fingerprint that much, honestly. So I just rely on the face unlock, as you can see there, which works really nice. And that's one thing I wish we had on the Pixel 4a here is face unlock, but we don't got that here. But overall, I think the fingerprint scanner on the Pixel 4a is just faster, it's more reliable, like I don't have any issues with it versus the OnePlus Nord where it'll tell me it can't recognize my fingerprint for whatever reason. But I do like how we do have one here in the front versus on the back of the phone because this one is just way more convenient for me. And lastly, let's go and talk about call quality between these two. So I'm gonna go and get on the phone call between these two and then you're gonna go ahead and hear how these sound side by side.
So here's what I sound like on the OnePlus Nord using the earpiece on Google Fi and Google Voice. And then this is what I sound like with the Pixel 4a, again, with the phone up to my ear.
So let me know which one sounds better to you. And lastly, we're gonna go and get into what I think is the most important between these two is the availability. So here in the US at least, if you want to go and get one of these phones, you can only get the Pixel 4a here, and if you want the OnePlus Nord, you're gonna have to go ahead and import it. But for the Pixel 4a here, you can get it on the Google Store, Best Buy, AT&T, Verizon, Sprint, or T-Mobile, whatever you use, which is also gonna lead to a lot of questions with how it works with your carrier. So I would go ahead and check with your carrier at a store or over the phone or whatever, because right here on the screen, that's what the OnePlus Nord doesn't support. That's the bands that the OnePlus Nord doesn't support. But with the Pixel 4a here in the US, it's gonna work perfectly fine. And also for India, I do want to say that the Pixel 4a is going to be there in October, but for the OnePlus Nord, it's already being sold in India, so you don't have any issues there. And on top of that, you have more options. So you have 2 color choices, and then you also have 3 other options here in terms of the storage and the RAM and everything like that. And then with the Pixel 4a, you're really only going to find one option. So you're going to find just black, just this color, and then, well, that's pretty much it. So we're using T-Mobile and AT&T on the OnePlus Nord. I have been getting 5G service on here for T-Mobile because this does support 5G. Unlike the Pixel 4a. So with the Pixel 4a, I have been getting a little bit better signal quality, but with the OnePlus Nord, I heard that you can go ahead and enable all the bands on here, so I will go and check that out. So overall, what is my better recommendation here? So my better recommendation, I would say that you should get the Pixel 4a over the OnePlus Nord. So the OnePlus Nord may have some advantages over here, like some unofficial water resistance, unlike the Pixel 4a. But overall, I think for the price, I think the Pixel 4a is just going to be a little bit better for just like most people. But I would say if you're a tech head, then go ahead and get the OnePlus Nord. And that's just my thoughts out here in Kenosha, Wisconsin with the service I'm getting on these two. So if they do come out with a OnePlus Nord here in the US, I'll go ahead and update y'all. But for right now, I got to give the advantage to the Pixel 4a for its $350 price tag because that's a pretty good deal. So both of these do get the Jennings stamp of approval, which means I recommend them. But overall, I got to give it to the Pixel. For me, I would choose the OnePlus Nord over the Pixel 4a because of the bigger screen and the glass build and everything like that. But for everybody else, I gotta give it to the Pixel 4a. Like I would say to get that one. So that's gonna be pretty much it for me, y'all. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this. This was actually pretty fun. And yeah, that was pretty much it for my side-by-side comparison between these two. So let me know, which one would you get? What's your thoughts between these two? Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? Let me know in the comments below. I'll go and leave both links in the description so you can go and pick up one of these good phones. And also, let me know in the comments below if you have any questions about these, like for example, if either of these support Wi-Fi 6, which for the record, no they don't. But thanks for watching. If you like this video, go and give this video a like. But go and follow me on my social media at eSantech on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, but Instagram and Twitter is the most active. But it is time for me to get up out of here, so I will do a comparison between the OnePlus Nord and the Pixel 4a and the Pixel 5 whenever those come out. And also go and check out my unboxing on these, they'll be in the description or the annotation above. So thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Dan, peace out.